We want to focus on moving lymph through the body. There's two ways that this happens. One is through muscle contraction. The muscular contraction will move blood and lymph through the body. The area where it has the least pressure moving it up is in the back of the neck. So what we want to do is make sure that there's no neck tension, which is going to impede lymphatic circulation. This happens a lot when people have chronic illness. They'll say, I've got a really stiff neck, and oftentimes they might not even realize how stiff the neck is, particularly if you're using the computer a lot on your phone. The sternocleidomastoid muscles in the front can get rather tight. It pulls against the back, and then as a result, you find that you might feel better after seeing a chiropractor, or after a massage, but it kind of goes right back to the way it was. So to begin this, I want to warm up the hands. Infrared heat is great, and anytime you're making friction, it's creating infrared heat. As I do this, I'm going to relax my breathing, let it completely fill through the lower pelvic girdle, relax my breathing deep down, and as that fills, let my breathing fill up into the chest as well. So as I'm massaging my hands together, creating that friction, creating that heat, I want to start really expanding by relaxing how much I'm able to breathe. That expansion and contraction is going to also help pump lymph through the body. Now that my hands are nice and warm, I'm covering just over my ears and coming down on the side of the neck, doing some light lymphatic massage. Under the ear, down the side of the neck. If I feel any tension in the SCM muscle, sternocleidomastoid, just going to give that a light massage at the tenderest point. Those tender points can find that Golgi tendon, and that will tell the muscle this is how long or short it should be. If you can get that tender point, you override the signal and say, hey, it's okay to be longer. You don't have to be so contracted and tight. If you get it just right, it feels really nice and will increase your range of motion. I like to test range of motion as well. At the same time, as I'm observing how far I can move my neck, I'm listening internally to see how crunchy it is. If it's crunchy, that's a sign of contraction and tightness. So now I'm going to move to the back of my neck. Right now I just want to warm up the back of the neck. After it's nice and warm, I'll bring my thumbs like so and massage up and down. Feeling for any tender points. Massaging and releasing. Get my hands warm again. I'm going to add another layer to this. As I deep breathe in through the lower abdomen, through the chest, I'm going to hold my breath just like I've yawned. You just kind of yawn like you would naturally do. There's that place where you kind of hold the breath before the exhalation. What you want to do with this exercise is get the hands nice and warm. Breathe up like you're yawning, hold the breath, and massage the back of the neck. And then slowly exhale out the nose. And as you exhale out the nose, you should feel your lower abdomen creating the space for your next in-breath. Breath comes in and up. Warm those hands. Chin to chest. Hold the breath. And slowly, slowly, slowly out the nose. Now I'm just going to do this exercise with you without saying anything so that you can get a sense for the timing. If you do this correctly, you're going to break a light sweat. It's more about the timing than it is the specifics of the breath hold or specifics of hand position. Similar to the way that you sneeze too, right? You've got that breath that comes into the chest and then it's that slight hold. Opening in the perineum, relaxing through the hips, breathing up into the chest. Then I'm gonna hold and bring my chin to the chest. Massage the back of the neck, and as slowly as possible, exhale out the nose. Ready? Let's do it. Right now I can feel very light sweat, pores are opening. Now I'm going to add another layer to this. Nasal humming could expand nitric oxide. Nitric oxide opens up blood vessels and it helps to move lymph through the body. So the way I'm going to stimulate this is after I take that big breath in, lower abdomen first, then expanding through the chest, chin comes to the chest. I'm going to do the hold and massage the back of the neck, only now this time instead of just breathing out the nose as slowly as I can, I'm still going to take that slower exhalation, but as I'm exhaling out the nose, I'm going to do a humming sound. Now don't copy exactly the sound that I'm making because the purpose of the hum is to vibrate into your nasal sinuses. So your sound should be different than my sound unless we have exactly the same face, in which case I'm very sorry for you. So what we're gonna do is hum until you just feel a little more vibration in the nasal sinuses. If you feel that, you're doing it correctly. Massaging down the neck. As I'm massaging the hands, really focusing on filling up my entire body with breath. Through the hips, through the back, up through the chest, some of that was my humming, some of that was a boat that's passing by, so. In case you thought I was double humming, I'm not that talented. Relaxing, feeling the lower abdomen, feeling the hips. Breathing up through the chest and back, filling as much as I possibly can. Holding the breath. Excellent. I'm going to retest my range of motion. Listen internally for any creaks or cracks. Sometimes I can feel, I could probably just use a little bit of a nice. So that is stage one. Another exercise you can do with stage one. Massage those hands again. And I'm going to make a light fist, just like so. If you want to use a palm that's cupped, you can do that. Start on the shoulder and just pat. If this is too much pressure for you, very light is okay. If you need to do lighter than that, also okay. I'm gonna go down the outside, up the inside once, smooth it out, and repeat 2 more times. If you can find an acupuncture point, hey, I just found one that's kind of tender. You can keep on it a little bit. I'm going to do the other side. If you go to most parks and cities, you can probably see somebody doing a similar type of exercise. If you are in a park in East Asia, you will definitely see somebody doing this in the morning. This is what millions of people do in order to stay healthy. Even in environments that are often rather toxic, they can stay quite healthy considering. So now that I've done 3 times down the arms, now I'm going to bring my hands up just about as high as I can and start going down the side of the body. Now from sitting too much, I get a little tension just around the hips. So I like to hit a little harder, a little longer there. How much time you spend on any one place is up to you. You know, I forgot to take out my keys. If you have keys in your pocket, this is a good time to empty those. Going down the IT band. I'm going to avoid the bone and look for muscle and fascia. Then I'm going to come up the inside. Just above the knee right here. It's a very good point as well. Soft and tender. Helps with blood circulation in the entire body. Come up through the front. Now I'm going to just push down the way we did on the arms, down the outside, up the inside. Next. Do it a second time. And a third time, smoothing it down, exhaling on the way down, inhaling on the way up. Now, if all has gone well, you probably want to feel lightly invigorated. You've already moved a lot of blood circulation, and more importantly, in this case, you've moved lymph. So when you're done with that, we'll go on to stage number 2. Hi, and welcome to stage number 2. To begin this one, want to bring our hands together. Is it important that right is on top or left is on top? Not really. Just make kind of a bowl with your hands. We want a single point of contact. You're going to bring hands to the lower abdomen. What you want to do is breathe in as much as you can into the lower abdomen, as deeply as you can. And then push in with your hands to create some intra-abdominal pressure. Then what I'm going to do is following the pubic bone, going up on the ribs, and then I'm going to come down on the other side. Now, is it important if you go clockwise or counterclockwise? Not really, because we're going to do both directions. And your intestines really just want movement, and the purpose of this is to get gas out. So the particulars aren't really that important. Traditionally, this is done 36 times one direction or 36 times, 72. The important thing is whatever you do in one direction, just make sure you're evening it out in the other. I chose the wrong shirt to use with this one because buttons can be a little annoying. It's fine though. Better to do it than not, right? So it's better to do it imperfectly than to not do it at all. So you'll know when you have success with this if you start to burp or fart. That is amazing for your digestion because everybody talks about gut bacteria, but nobody talks about the growing conditions. Right now, I'm by a lake. You can see the entire biome, the environment, is marked by relative temperature and moisture. The air as well will determine what can live here. If suddenly we turned all of the gas to something more sulfuric, all of the trees here would die, right? I would die. That's a given. So the same is true of your gut microbiota. If the wrong types of gases are there, the wrong types of life will flourish. If you want good bacteria, you need good breathing environment for them. So getting the gas out is really essential. The massage also will help move the intestines, which is particularly good for people who have SIBO. This helps the right bacteria get to the right area of the body. If you're getting better at this, as I know that you are, you can start to bend your knees and engage in a light squat as you do this massage. Do you want to close your eyes and check out a little bit? This is a wonderful meditation as well. I'm not actually keeping count right now. I'm just kind of going back and forth. If you want to do 72 in one direction, 72 in the other, or 36, pick a lucky number, stick to it. What is important is that if you're using this kind of exercise, that you set your phone alert for 3 times a day. And whether you're doing this for 30 seconds or 5 minutes, just make sure you're doing it consistently. It's one of the best exercises that you can possibly do. And this is another exercise that you're going to see very frequently, especially in Chinese hospitals. A lot of doctors will teach patients who have digestive problems to do this because it's the single best exercise that you can do if you're having digestive problems. The self-massage with the deep breathing and meditation, it is just very soothing, and it puts some power back in your hands because, you know, when you're not in control of your bowels, when it feels like nothing is working, it's important to have something that you can do to improve your day as far as your bowels and digestion are concerned. After you get your first burp or fart, you can start to lighten the intra-abdominal pressure. Just feel internally whether it feels better to go faster or slower. Your gut produces a lot of serotonin, which is a feel-good hormone, love hormone, kind of. That's so-called. If you get this just right, it's really difficult not to feel a state of joy. So, you know, a little wine is nice, a little weed is nice. Not really my cup of tea, but other people enjoy it. But also stomach massage can get you into the same state, especially if you're engaging with that deep breathing. If you've had chronic digestive problems, I would definitely suggest this over anything else. Do this 3 times a day. I've never seen anybody do this 3 times a day for a minimum of 5 minutes who within 2 weeks to a month didn't get off of their medications and then get off of herbs as well. So I love what we're able to provide herbally, but also really want you to not need it long term. What I would absolutely love is for you to experience this exercise for yourself, do it for a couple of weeks, and share it with as many of your friends and family as you can. You're going to help them stave off so much very avoidable pain and suffering down the road just by having them do these simple types of exercises. These aren't exercises that I invented. This is the 80-20. Are the most popular exercises in East Asia. You see them in India as well. This is what gives people the most bang for the buck as far as energy expenditure and the health benefits that they get back. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to bring my hands to the lower abdomen. Just take a few breaths. Very gently. Next, we'll go on to stage 3. This is turning our entire body into a massager. Most chronic pain you can shake away. If it's soft tissue, like bone cancer pain, no, but throughout your shoulder, something like this, you can shake away most pain. There's a saying in Chinese medicine that pain comes from stagnation. Move the stagnation, the pain goes away. So to begin with, I'm going to start with deep breathing, just to make sure I'm as aligned as I possibly can get. Rocking forward and back on the feet. Find that middle posture in the foot, left and right, really finding that central position. Now I'm going to move my hands back and forth like this, and just start to shake them. I don't want to do this, as it can pull on my neck. So how you move your hands isn't particularly important. The wave of force through the body is important. So you don't want to do anything that's giving yourself whiplash. Everybody's body is going to be different. You can start coming up on your heels and then down, bouncing very lightly. That's a nice one. Also, the calf pump is going to help blood get up. It's going to help lymph move. If that's not possible for you, that's fine. You can just start with shaking like this. If you're in bed and you can't move, you can start with an arm or 2 arms. I've seen people get themselves out of bed, people who have been bedridden due to pain, just starting with 1 arm shaking. And then as the waves of force go through the body, as that self-massage happens through the vibration, other parts of the body are able to unlock. So if you can add some bounce, good. If not, also good. So right now what I'm doing is I'm shaking the arms. If we're angry, we have an instinct that we want to climb or we want to fight. You can't always do that. A lot of tension gets locked into the shoulders. This is helping that to get out. Another part of our fight, flight, and freeze response is the freeze response. We get energy to the legs when we want to run away. We're not allowed to run away in all stressful situations. So a lot of tension gets locked in the legs. If I get tension in the upper body and tension in the legs, then my walking posture becomes increasingly what we associate with geriatric. So I'm gonna start with the arms for a few minutes, 3 to 5 minutes like that. Then I'm gonna move and just shake my knees like I'm scared. Reminds me of old Scooby-Doo cartoons. And how exactly you can go forward and back, side to side. And as I shake this, I'm going, so I started with my arms and then legs. So I'm basically massaging from the outside in. So we're gonna do that, say for 5 minutes in the arms, another 5 minutes in the legs. And that's great, we're going outside to inside. And then at a certain point where you're feeling, I can really just start to move my hips a little bit, especially from moving the legs, your hips are getting a little more freedom. You want to just shake like you're trying to get tender meat off a bone, right? So you can start shaking a little more free form. Just feel the meat on your bones, just like it wants to wiggle off. Now from the hips, I'm going to start to move my hips back and forth. The idea with this is that I've taken it from outside to inside. Now I'm going to go from inside to outside. And however you want to move is up to you. You see many healing traditions, people will get into a trance and start moving very randomly. And then after that, they'll say, my back is healed. Whatever problems they've had are healed. And that's true. There's a lot of emotional tension that can create physical pain, and physical pain that is associated with emotional tension. And so just can add sign to this if you want to improve that movement. If stress has been locking you in place, then sign can be a great way to alleviate that. And then really just, go nuts. This is another thing you'll see in Chinese parks. There's people kind of moving like this. It's okay. I mean, not at the airport probably, you might get arrested, but find the time and place. This is just a very good exercise to do. I actually used to spend an hour once a week in order to alleviate some chronic pain that I had. I would do it every Sunday, just shake. And in that shaking, especially as you get these waves of force, observe what the waves of force are telling you. It's like sonar. You can feel waves of force go through the body, and then you'll feel like, oh, well, a lot of this is getting stuck on my hips. This waves of force, it's like water in a river, and you can see it going over the rock, and so you know the rock is there. The same thing with these waves of force in the body. As they go through the body, you can feel where there's tension locked away. Maybe it's in the stomach, maybe it's around the hips. So change the frequency a little bit. Sigh, relax into that area. Imagine the flow going through that area, and it really opens up the entire body. This is also one of the best exercises you can do before you want to engage in anything athletic. I've had people do this who are, like I mentioned, bedridden, and professional athletes. It benefits everybody. It's about getting the entire body to work together. It's about using your body to massage your body, which I think is just incredible. However you want to move is okay. If you've seen MMA fighters, they're starting to do this kind of movement training. Conor McGregor, for one. But yeah, these exercises actually are from Chinese medicine that went to Chinese martial arts that went to professional athletes today. So where am I feeling it? I have been in the car driving for a few days on a road trip. So I'm feeling it right around here. So I'm going to breathe into this area and just shake a little more. Sorry, camera. Yeah, that feels a lot better. So this is the essence of stage 3. There's also a deeper breathing exercise that we can do, but that's best done lying down. So I'll show you that at a later time.